Yeah, but it still bothers me that he is a sex offender, registered sex
Well,
offender,
absolutely. Well,
and they
absolutely.
would. I mean, the thing that bothers me or baffles me is that they don't seem to care that part at
They,
all.
they
They
di-
totally
they
ignore
didn't
it.
care. They
Yeah.
didn't care about it. They ignored it. It was not as if apparently he changed his lifestyle in any way. So I mean, there is a kind of inhumanity and callousness here, which is really quite extraordinary.
And also angers me is that the thing has been going on so long. The very first time the authority heard about Epstein was actually back in 1996.
Yeah,
There's this Annie Maria Farmer, the sisters. They are the
yeah,
one who reported to the police for being abused and by Epstein. If the police taking care of it seriously, take him seriously, take this whole thing seriously, the whole thing afterwards could have been avoided, but they
absolutely,
didn't, right?
absolutely.
And then she came out. I think Annie Farmer came out and even said that she said since 1996 they kept on bring this up into different administration. So it was Clinton. After that was W. Bush, and it was then later was Obama and Trump won. Biden and now Trump too. Just throughout all these times, they always finding ways to trying to bring the attention, the authority to this matter.
Yeah.
They always get nowhere. It seems like that's the so you can't even blame on particular administration or a particular
No,
FBI director or something like that. It's just the whole culture is there. It seems like the government just
absolutely. I mean, I mean, there seems to have been a general sense that whatever Epstein is doing, you leave him alone.
Mhm.
That he's somehow above the reach of ordinary law, which is a very frightening thing.
I have to say, after I read the book and learn all this, I very much seriously have my face to capitalism has pretty much collapsed
Yeah,
because I feel the whole thing about capitalism, even in its more like a fair way. Right now, we don't even have a fair capitalism, like a fair competition. I
no,
don't think we even have
no,
that. But even let's say we do, fundamentally, capitalism will create wealth gap, right? There will be
yeah,
people who make way more money than others. And when they
yes,
have so much money, one of the things that motivates people to make money is once I have so much money, I will be treated differently. I will have a
yeah,
special set of rules for me, just for me because I'm so rich, right? I can get away with a lot of things. And
yes.
so, by almost by definition, the capitalist system will contradict the idea of everybody's equal. I feel
Well,
like
of course,
that's pretty
well, of
much
course,
it.
this is absolutely correct, and you're absolutely right. I mean, anybody who thinks that a Rockefeller and a Smith are on the same political level is being extremely naive.
Yeah.
This has always been true, by the way, but it has never been more true today. I mean, once upon a time, long ago, socialism was described to me as applied democracy,
Mm.
and you can sense what that means actually. So, the real practical, genuine apply democracy as it's applied is actually socialism.
Yeah.
And without it, democracy really, political democracy really has no real meaning.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I really think
Yeah.
if you see how these people think, I mean, first of all, it has gone on so long for Epstein. And then there are just plenty of people support him, they're totally comfortable around him. I mean, how can they explain that other than people bow down to money, right? People
Exactly.
just, yeah, attracted to. I think it's Tina
Yeah.
Brown or somebody who described this that the only thing people are embarrassed to be associated with somebody is somebody's poor. That's when people get embarrassed.
This is profoundly true. And again, if I can talk about Chinese culture, which is probably one reason why, as a Chinese person, you're probably particularly shocked by this. This has not been true
Yeah.
of Chinese culture.
Mhm.
I mean, if you know all about the way China was worked, it was not the case that the very rich
Mhm.
had power in China. I mean, it was all about intellect, passing exams, serving the people, becoming a magistrate,
Mhm.
often in very hard, tough places. It was a completely different cultural set of cultural values. Again, wealth and power in the West are interconnected with each other. And wealth is a route to power and power over others. Power
Mm.
means the ability to control others.
Yeah, actually, in the Chinese history, there has been some layer, like some kind of a categorize people. It's called a 士
Yeah,
农工商. Shang is
yeah,
business, which is the bottom.
yeah,
The top is government officials. So
yeah,
the idea is you well
yeah,
respected the profession should be you should be a good official
yes,
serving the people. And then after that is farmers. People who are providing
yeah,
food for everybody. And then it's the handyman. So
yeah,
and then the business will be the bottom.
yes,
In fact, in
yes,
some parts of, I mean, in throughout the history, there was always this tension between the Huangdi and the rich people because the Huangdi are not settled with the fact that you have so much money, which means
yes,
inherently you will have power, and that is regarded as a threat to the real power, the royal
yes,
power. So
yes.
so that's true. Yeah, it's
Absolutely. No, it is
yeah.
completely true. I mean, there's never been a time in Chinese history, never been a time in Chinese history, except possibly in the time of Chiang Kai shek,
Hmm.
when wealth translated into political power.
Yeah.
I mean, it has never worked in that way. Whereas in the West, it's the usual way in
Hmm.
which power functions. I mean, the people who are powerful are rich, and the people who are rich are powerful.
Yeah.
Even the aristocracy, the military
Mhm.
aristocracy, was all about that.
Before I let you go, two things related
Mm.
in terms of the foreign policy. So Epstein consulted the Russian government a week before the Helsinki summit, consulting them how to deal with Trump. That's interesting, isn't it?
It's astonishing. And from what I can understand, this time at least, the Russians kept him at a distance, which begs many questions. I mean,
Mhm.
first of all, why did he think that the Russians would be interested in him?
Mhm.
I mean, that again tells you something. I mean, remember the Russian ambassador at the UN had a long meeting with him some time
Mhm.
before. But, so Epstein thinks that he can reach out to the Russians obviously know who he is,
Mhm.
but for some reason they decided this time they're not going to have any dealings with him. So again, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Now, this is diplomacy. This is Epstein inserting himself into diplomacy between the president of Russia and the president of the United States.
Mhm.
There's actually a law in the United States, by the way, against this kind of thing about private individuals engaging in diplomacy in this kind of manner. But obviously, that doesn't apply to Epstein. Um, Again, I find myself asking the same question as you. What is this all about? What is this all about?
Mhm.
And what is it that Epstein thinks he's going to be able to tell the Russians, which the
Mhm.
Russians don't already know?
Mhm.
And why does he think the Russians will be interested in listening to him? And why, given that they've spoken to him previously, did the Russians decide they don't want to actually speak to him? Is it because they know something about Epstein, which we don't? Maybe
Mhm.
someone should ask them. Nobody has, by the way.
Yeah. Another thing is that Epstein obviously hate Imran Khan, which is a little bit surprising to me. He said
Yes.
Imran Khan in Pakistan is much greater threat to the peace than Erdogan, Khomeini, Xi Jinping, and Putin. So
Yeah.
why is he so much against Imran Khan? Isn't
Well,
that interesting?
this is another excellent question. Now, all I can say about that is that the United States was very, very hostile to Imran Khan and engineered his overthrow as prime
Hmm.
minister, which
Hmm.
has, of course, led to him being imprisoned. So this is one instance when Epstein is in total harmony, if you like, with
Hmm.
American foreign policy. And I wonder whether a lot of the questions, the answer to a lot of the questions about Epstein aren't to be found in Langley and in the archives of the U.S. National Security Council.
Now, some people in China just speculated because Pakistan is the Muslim country that has nuclear weapon.
Yes.
So if Imran Khan is not in the, you cannot easily control him,
Yeah.
that would be something that people like Epstein will see as a threat to Israel, right? So that's
Well, exactly.
probably, yeah, okay.
Yes, but the thing about Imran Khan is that he's secular.
Hmm.
He's not somebody who is what I mean made his career around hostility to
Hmm.
Israel. He was friendly with China. He was also
Pakistan,
Pakistan is friendly to China,
yeah.
but he was also somebody who seemed to be interested in having a better relationship with Russia.
So maybe they just don't like the fact that Pakistan already a nuclear power and have good relationship with both Russia and China, that will make Pakistan too powerful or something,
Too
probably.
powerful and too
Mhm.
independent, and
That's
not as willing to follow Europe, American foreign policy as it has sometimes been in the past.
okay. Anyway, just this whole Epstein affair, after I read the book,
Yes,
all those emails, I feel like
yes,
I pretty much lost my previous respect to Harvard and MIT. I almost feel like those are dirty places. I don't know. It just
absolutely.
seems, and I see the whole Ivy League in a very different way now. So,
You're quite right too. I mean, again, this is something which one day you can talk about with my wife, who, as I said, is an
mhm,
academic, and she will confirm all your worst concerns. Just very quickly before we finish about
mhm,
wealth and power and the interconnection between the two. Of course, Rome, the Roman Empire, is in some way always the starting point for any understanding of the West. Well, a fact which many people don't know is that the Roman Senate had a financial qualification. You had to be worth a certain fixed amount of money
mhm,
in order to be eligible for membership, a very, very large amount of money.
mhm.
So you had to be a very, very rich man by law in order to be a member of the Senate.
And the U.S. Constitution, when they started, all men are created equal. Here, the man defined as white male property owner, right?
Yeah.
So it, even that, you have to have certain wealth in order
Yes,
to be
absolutely.
qualified as a man, so a
No,
human.
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. In the West, let's be quite
mhm,
straightforward about this. In the West, the people who have power overwhelmingly are people who are white,
mhm,
English speaking, mostly male, and rich.
yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Okay. Let's talk next time again. So there's always a lot to
Absolutely.
talk. So anyway,
Absolutely.
have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophia. Have a very great weekend too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.